Hey everyone, for thousands of years people have been amazed by the Egyptian pyramids. These giant structures, sticking up from the desert sand, show how smart and ambitious the ancient Egyptians were. They make us wonder about lots of things, like when were these amazing buildings made? Why did they make them so big? Who built them? And what secrets are hiding inside those thick stone walls? The pyramids are more than just tombs. They're like time capsules, showing us what the ancient Egyptians believed, what their culture was like, and how advanced they were. Their massive size, how they line up with the stars, and the beautiful art inside show just how much they knew, and it still blows our minds today. Let's go back in time, thousands of years, to the Nile River. A powerful civilization lived there, ruled by pharaohs. These weren't just kings, they were like gods on earth. When they died, they believed they went to live with the other gods. The pyramids, those giant pointy buildings, were built to help them get there. Building the pyramids was a huge job. It took hundreds of years and thousands of workers. These giant structures were mainly tombs for the pharaohs. The ancient Egyptians believed that when you died, you went to a different world, especially the pharaoh. The pyramids weren't just graves, they were like palaces for the afterlife. Inside, the pharaohs were buried with all the cool stuff they thought they'd need. Gold, jewels, furniture, weapons, and even food. Everything went in with the pharaoh's mummy. Even the way the pyramids looked had special meaning. The sloping sides were like sunbeams, a path for the pharaoh's soul to go up to the sky. The burial chamber deep inside lined up with certain stars, showing the pharaoh's journey to the heavens. So, the pyramids weren't just about death, but about life after death. They showed how much the Egyptians believed the pharaoh would live forever and how important he was to the world. For a long time, people have made up stories about how the pyramids were built. Some say aliens did it, or maybe a lost civilization, or even magic. But archaeologists have found clues that tell a different story. The pyramids weren't built by slaves. Archaeologists found out that the workers were skilled builders and artists who got paid for their work. They lived in villages near the pyramids, and it seems they had pretty good lives. Their tools were simple: copper chisels, hammers, wooden levers, rollers, and sledges. The Egyptians were so smart, not because of fancy tools, but because they understood how things worked and were really organized. Building the pyramids shows how clever, determined, and cooperative people can be. Thousands of skilled workers, over many years, built these amazing symbols of power, belief, and life after death. Section 4. Inside the pyramids, a peek inside. Going inside a pyramid is like going to a different world. It feels ancient and it's super quiet. Inside there are lots of rooms, hallways, and tunnels. Each one has a special purpose. The main room is the burial chamber, where the pharaoh's mummy was put. The walls often have carvings and paintings showing the afterlife, like a guidebook for the pharaoh. Around the burial chamber are other rooms filled with treasures for the afterlife: gold masks, fancy furniture, weapons, pots, and even chariots. These things were there for the pharaoh to use in the afterlife, and they showed how important he was. The decorations inside tell us about ancient Egyptian religion and their ideas about death and the afterlife. The pyramids weren't just tombs, they were doorways to eternity, showing how much the Egyptians believed that souls live forever. Section 5. Mysteries in stone. How did they do it? Even after all this time, we still don't know exactly how the pyramids were built. How did they move those giant stones without modern machines? Some think they used big sleds pulled by lots of people. Others think they used rollers and levers. And how did they lift those huge stones, some weighing as much as a school bus, so high up? There are lots of ideas, like ramps, but nobody knows for sure. The pyramids are so precise, it shows the Egyptians knew a lot about math, astronomy, and engineering. They lined up the pyramids with the stars, and that's pretty impressive. Section 6. Conclusion. A memory in stone. The Egyptian pyramids show how clever, ambitious, and spiritual the ancient Egyptians were. They're more than just tombs. They're like time capsules showing us a world from thousands of years ago. We've learned a lot about the pyramids, but there's still so much we don't know. How did they move and lift those giant stones? What do the stars mean? What do the carvings and writings say? These are all questions we're still trying to answer. The pyramids aren't just old things from the past, they show how clever and determined people can be. They remind us that even the biggest mysteries can be solved if we're patient, curious, and look closely. The pyramids challenge us to keep exploring, asking questions, and being amazed by the wonders of the ancient world.